It's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Thank you for joining us again. Our guest is Lauren Ziese. Lauren is a green landscape designer, one of the most notable in Los Angeles. We thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk about your business model. What do you do?
Well, that's a good question. I would think there's definitely a lot of landscape designers in Los Angeles, and one of the reasons that I would say I rise to the top is that instead of just taking the plants that look good, that have nice flowers, that everyone likes to use, hydrangeas, yada, 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 I take my inspiration from what's already here. I do a lot of exploring of the local terrain. I really try to get an idea of what survives well here, but also things that are natural elements.
Well, let's talk about that. Basically, you're talking about California natives.
Yeah, exactly, but specifically this region's natives.
Oh, really? Give us the distinction.
Well, okay, like for instance, there is plants of all over California that do quite well. There's some that are riparian, some are chaparral, some are coastal sage scrub, for example. We're in a region right here where you don't really want to grow riparian unless you're living right by a river. Riparian meaning by water.
Sure.
So if you do certain plants that require a lot of water, then you have to make sure that you have an irrigation system that can handle that. So what I try to do is bring in plants that are locally grown, local plants, so that when you're dealing with wildlife, you're dealing with plants, animals, insects, as well as birds and things like that. You're giving them that nourishment and that
connection. I was recently at someone's home who has only California natives. It is amazing the amount of life that is in her backyard. Absolutely stunning. My backyard, not so much. Squirrels. That's about it. That's about it. So it really does serve as like a mini ecosystem in some ways.
Exactly. And the important thing is that the ecosystem is connecting you with the natural systems. But also, as a designer, I don't just put a bunch of plants in the yard like a good horticulturalist would. I follow the rules of Kansei engineering, which is a type of design that creates an emotional sense. So I try to create comfort, or I try to create passion, or I try to create intimacy.
You are also an advocate of a river that goes through Los Angeles.
Oh, yes.
Many people don't even know there's a river going through Los Angeles. I happen to, and I look forward to the day where that river is completely revitalized, as do you. Talk to us about the Los Angeles River.
Well, the Los Angeles River, and there's a lot of different people that are working on it in a lot of different ways. There's everywhere from large landscape architecture firms and the Army Corps of Engineers who originally built the river are slowly starting to turn it back into a natural river with natural water courses so that there's actual room for plants to grow. I'm definitely in working in conjunction with that in my designs, where I try to take that water before it goes to the river. I provide ways for that water to actually be cleaned up, and there's no extra nitrogen or fertilizer that's going out into the rivers, which is what's going to be common when you're growing the standard American lawn.
If you look at portions of the river that have been revitalized already, for example, near downtown, the cornfields, Taylor Yard, it's stunning.
It is.
It really is quite remarkable. I know coming up on May 1st to the 3rd is the Los Angeles Garden Show.
Yes.
And you have been selected for something pretty significant. Tell us about it.
Well, I'm definitely going to be stretching my design muscles a little bit.
I can imagine.
And the reason is that I've been very influenced by flamenco, the entire art of it, the guitar, the singing, the dancing. And my design is going to be addressing the Spanish heritage of California, a connection to the San Gabriel Mountains. And the flamenco design itself is going to be creating the colors and the movement and the flow of flamenco, as well as an actual stage that people are going to be able to stand and perform on, as well as real performers and, of course, people just having fun.
It just sounds remarkable. The event is the LA Garden Show at the LA Arboretum.
Correct.
In Arcadia. It runs from May 1st to the 10th. You're being a little humble because only 10 designers were selected. You were one of 10. So I congratulate you on that. And I thank you so much for really looking at what California is about and trying to bring us back to our natural state.
It's my pleasure.
You bet. For Local Edition, I'm Brad Pomerance. Thank you so much for watching.